For our video, we decided to go back to the two events that we both really enjoyed this semester. Coincidentally, these two places are right by Rockefeller Center, so what better way to reflect on art by exploring New York City during the holiday season? For our first location, we went back to the New York City Center where we watched Fall for Dance. The performances that stuck out to me the most was the ballet and tap dance. I always thought ballet was very rigid and methodical, but the ballet dancers added their own spin on how ballet is perceived by adding elements of humor and spontaneity. Similarly, I was not expecting the tap dance performance to be so lively. They definitely put their own modern twist to it, which made me appreciate this dance form. I learned that dance, as well as art, is not confined in rules, but it actually has so much freedom in interpretation. Because of the photojournal, I am more aware of my surroundings and learn to appreciate everything that is happening right in front of me, since it could be a great moment to capture on camera. Seeing all of these tourists and New Yorkers taking pictures around Radio City Hall shows that we participate in art all the time, even when we do not realize it. Art doesn't have to stereotypically be a painting in a museum, but rather it can be buildings or the sculptures that you see every day in the city.
Watching the play Ugly Lies the Bone was really an eye-opening experience. The play was a wake-up call for me, broadening my narrow perspective on life. Since I'm living so far away from home and spending a great amount of time on my studies, I was overlooking many important aspects of life. Specifically, Jess's relationship with her sister Casey reminded me of my bond with my sister. I then also realized that I hadn't spoken to my sister for days. Through this art, I was reminded of the value of giving time to important relationships in our lives. Jess reminded me of how small our problems are in this enormous universe. As she said, we are little dots and our existence is meaningless. Keeping this in mind, we should be prioritizing how we use our time. I had never thought that I would gain such deep insight on life from a play before watching Ugly Lies the Bone.
Although the purpose of going to Rockefeller that day was to revisit the two events, we actually encountered another form of art, graffiti street art. Usually I would not even look twice at the art that is sold on the sidewalks of New York, but being more observant about my surroundings, I got out of my comfort zone and was actually interested in seeing how his art pieces were created.
While exploring Rockefeller Center, Erica and I came across a form of art we hadn't seen before. The artist was using straight edges and spray paint to create beautiful skylines of New York City. Curious to know more, I began conversing with the artist. I found out that he was from Ukraine, and I began speaking to him in Russian. Through this interaction, I realized that art has the power to bring people from completely different backgrounds together.
The Christmas lights actually reminded me of the Times Square "This Is Not America" ad that Professor Klitsch showed us in the beginning of the school year. It reminded me that even the design of the lights and Christmas music are all part of art, and the fact that thousands of people come here to enjoy the Christmas light show every night made me realize that we all appreciate art in some form or another, and that art is truly everything.
I realized that attending all of these events created a community and brought our class closer together. During these past 3 months, I've gotten to learn so much about my peers. Simply traveling to the seminar events together and discussing our opinions on different art forms has brought me closer to many people. I learned that art has the power to connect people, whether it be for political activism or for a arts in New York City class. After bonding over art, a couple of us decided to go to the Museum of Feelings together and experience something completely different. If it weren't for this class, I wouldn't have met so many interesting people to discover art in New York City with.
Not only did this class make me appreciate all forms of art, it made me appreciate the infrastructure and beauty of New York. The grand and extravagant Met Opera House, the tight-knit community environment in the New Eurekan Poets Cafe, and the politically driven murals in Harlem made me appreciate how diverse New York is and how it has so many opportunities that allow for everyone to appreciate any type of expression. This makes me want to check out more museums and explore more places in the city because art speaks a lot about the society that we live in. I think that a place that allows street art, murals, poems, and exhibitions that criticize politics and society demonstrates how accepting it is and how it values free expression, which is what art essentially is.